Let me fly into the moonlight. Just give me space to breathe. Let me see inside the darkness, just to wash away the fear. The cold surrounds me now in a sea of lines and dots. The moment.
Three. Hello and welcome to the Shoremen on the Sideline. Joining me today, we've got head coach Earl Varr, still in hometown Wellington, and assistant coach Zach Beer, to give a bit of a launch into the season and a quick look at round one. It's great to have you online today, boys, and great to have some footy back on the field to talk about from the weekend.
Thanks, JB. Good to be here. Obviously not ideal to be still in New Zealand, but that's just the way it goes. So looking forward to sharing our information and what we expect out of our boys for the weekend with all our supporters.
Nice. I think
great to be here, Jack. Great to be here, mate. I never thought we'd get here round one, but we're here.
How good.
Fingers crossed it doesn't get pulled up again.
Yeah, I know all the boys were chomping at the bit, and so too our spectators, to see a bit of live footy action. I think in the history of the club, this will be our first ever online season launch. So, look, today's episode is brought to you by the Union Hotel, where the office sits, and our home. The Union Hotel, more than just your local, one of our key sponsors that's been impacted quite heavily, obviously, through the COVID period. So any patronage we can get back to the Union Hotel. If you're thinking about your next beer or a meal with the family, head down to the Union and support the team. Mate, we'll touch base with Earl. You mentioned you're still in Wellington. Just give us a quick update as to where you're at, what's happening, and when we can grace you again.
Well, as you know, JB, you and I have put numerous applications into Home Affairs and trying to get exemption to get me back over to Sydney. The process has taken a lot longer than we expected, but you know, we can only do so much. I think is it 6 applications we've put in so far. Out of those 6, one's been seen and declined. We've put another one in, which they've received now, and they like the look of the documentation we've added with this new application. So hopefully we'll have an answer in the coming days. But at the moment, you know, everything just works on Zoom and WhatsApp and texts and emails and phone calls, and you know, Zach and Sapi are doing their best in these trying circumstances as well. But you know, we just move forward and prepare the team the best we can.
Yeah, I know from my my text message exchange with you on Saturday, which was running pretty hot. You got your finger on the pulse from over there, which is great. Just on to Zach, mate. First year at the club, thrown straight in the deep end with everything that's happened, and now sort of assuming the on-field duties. Just give us a bit of an update. You've obviously come over from Manly. What's your sort of recent coaching background before you've come to Norths?
Yeah, so this will be my 10th straight year in the Shute Shield. So I had nine straight years at Manly. Started in 2010, coached every grade from 3rd grade Colts, 2nd grade Colts, 1st grade Colts, and every grade right through grade. Opportunity came up to come across the North. Obviously being at the same environment for a while, I think I needed a bit of a freshen up. And it's crazy to think I've already been here for 9 months since November. It's gone quick. We've only had 2 trial games and 1 internal trial. But it's been great, mate. I think, look, I describe the club as a highly professional setup. From the outside looking in, you see that you know, 6 or 7 players each year get promoted up to some sort of pro rugby contract. When you pull the curtain back and step inside the training ground, you realise why. The culture's player driven. they want success and focused on the detail. And I thought I could add a bit in terms of the attacking philosophy and some work with the backs. But no, it's been great, and everyone's really welcomed me with open arms. It feels like a big family now.
Yeah, nice. So no doubt, yourself and Earl are doing a terrific job communicating to the players and obviously the community through this time. Earl, I'll throw back to you for this one. We've got a decent by the amount of bodies in the coaching setup this year. Obviously, Sape Miss has been around a little while, and Simon Johnson's joined the boys this year. Can you give us an idea on his role? And some of the members might know Jono from years gone by, but he's back at the club and with a new role.
Yeah, he Jono's a man that's played for the club, coached down the lower grades, went overseas and is back in the country. Reached out to help the club in any way, and the role that he's got for us is he plays an important part in our ability to analyse opposition, give coaches feedback, and be another set of eyes for the coaches for things that we miss. And he's been great. He was running the water on the weekend, and I think he enjoys that. I think Sape was a little bit mad at me for making him sit in the grandstand with Zach, but he's got a role to play now, so he just has to suck it up and get on with life.
Nice. And so just touching on the trial game, obviously you were texting me flat out. Zach, what was it like for you first time in the coaching box, and what did we see from your point of view in the trial that is going to hold us in good stead for round one?
Yeah, look, we saw some really clear pictures on the areas that we need to improve on coming into round one. We also saw the good foundations to set us up, and got good confirmation in terms of what we've been working on in the preseason and in lockdown, that it works. I thought our defence was strong. Anyone who came out and watched the game would agree that Eastwood were peppering our line a number of times, 10, 15, sometimes up to 20 phases, and we're still bringing line speed and shutting the ball down. I thought our transition in attack was good. It was looking like what we had put in place in terms of the systems, that the boys had played together for a number of months and had that cohesion. I think that'll only improve as the season goes on, and then those clear areas for improvement that we've identified, and that's what we've been working on this week.
Yeah, nice. And for anyone that was out there, obviously saw a scoreline of 31-14 against us, but it was certainly a different game with a couple of intercepts and a couple others against the run of play. It certainly could have been different, and I guess that's what the trial games are for. Earl, being over in New Zealand, you're obviously able to get onto the technology and watch the game soon thereafter. What were your takeaways? Yeah,
exactly what Zach said. We were good in defence. We just need to tidy up a few things in how we stay connected and have each other's back when players step back inside or get on the outside of us. From set piece, we need to be better in our set piece, so we can launch and get into our shape as quickly as possible. As Zach said, from broken play, we look fine. Most of our attack, most of the good stuff from our attack came from broken play, and so we just need to tidy up that stuff around our launches from set piece and giving us quality ball. Yeah, nice. What I'll let either of you two go and answer this one. What are you thinking we make of West Harbour? I guess in the lead up to this new season, a lot's unknown. A lot of players have come back from overseas, a lot of player movement. There hasn't been a whole lot of footage. What are we going to make of West Harbour this weekend? Well, they're big bodies. That's the first thing. Right across the field. Their forwards are huge and carry with a lot of power behind them. Both off their 9 and off their 10. And their backs are lightning quick. So, we've got to shut that ball down before it gets to their backs, and don't give them too much space to wind up and try and get on the outside of us.
Anything to add there, Zach?
No, mate, that's pretty much covered it. I mean, gone are the days with West Harbour where it was a walk in the park. You're going over to Drummoy for a real dogfight. And we can't give them too much space to play, as well. So they've got the big bodies, so they'll wind up, they'll want to use the ball. So we've just got to limit that. Carry on with the D that we brought to TG Milner last week. Just be a bit more controlled in our set piece and attack, in terms of ball retention and building a bit of continuity there.
Yeah, nice. Obviously, Earl mentioning that speed on the wing. I think they've signed Rocket Rod Davies, the former Reds champion and one Test Wallaby. So no doubt taking his time and space will be critical. Let's talk about us for a minute. And I've obviously seen the team list and 6 debutants, as I mentioned. So off the top, Earl, do you want to run through some of the forwards and some of the debutants we've got there, and what you're looking to hopefully see from those guys?
Yeah, well, with the number of players that have moved on or retired, picked up super contracts, it was always going to be a transition with new players and opportunity for our new players. So we've got pretty young front row with Jack Brewer and James Morgan and Jaden Lynch. They're all young and pretty slight and can get around the field. That the main thing for them is going to be how they hold their own in scrum time against the older opposition. Brad Hemmelpaugh, who's come over from Manly, he's one of our loose forwards that be important for us to get the ball in his hand and get him to dominate in his collisions in defence. And then Heinrich Brendel, our South African number 8, he's probably been one of our form forwards in the games that we've had and at training. During lockdown, he was working on a farm to get his visa extended, which has been great. But he's come back in good nick, and he's got a very good rugby brain. And then our 6th debutant is your younger brother, Max, who's just come over from rugby league, and he's made every post a winner, and he really deserves his spot. And it's not an easy thing for us coaches to select teams and have those tough conversations with players about selection, but everyone's taken it well, and we look forward to Max putting his foot down and his skills on the weekend.
Yeah, nice. And so I think just rolling back through the forward pack, it's so great to see that our front row are all sort of come through our Colts program as well. So good to know that the club's got some real good continuity there. Obviously in the second row, Dave Henaway's back. He always adds some spark. And the other lock is Nick Palmer, the recently announced captain. How was it to tell Big Sticks that he's going to captain the team after a couple strong seasons?
Well, I had a good conversation with him, but I guess the story that Zach told me, which I'll let Zach tell you about, the way he addressed the players when it was announced was pretty special.
You want to touch on that?
Yeah, yeah, mate. When we announced it to the group down at Primrose last Tuesday, Stixie, it was clear that it meant a lot to him. He got quite emotional and mentioned some of the captains that had gone before him and what his goals are this season as a captain and the type of captain he wanted to be. So that was quite special being part of that moment. And also when he delivered the good news on that phone call, it was the same reaction. He's a true leader, mate. He's the last one in the sheds to pick up the strapping tape and and sweep the sheds. Shakes everyone's hand. Well, does this now with with socially distanced. But yeah, he's the true definition of a leader, and anyone who's seen him play, understands he gets through a truckload of work, and he's been one of the form locks in the comp for the last few years.
Yeah, nice. No, true gentleman, and always the first to greet any new player or staff or anything like that. Fun fact about Stixie is he's got a Super Rugby try, and he scored it by doing a long place because he didn't realise he was over the try line, which is just goes to his workhorse nature. No fanfare, just get on with the job. And obviously at 7 we've got Hugh Taylor, the another guy that's come through our Colts. So great reward for effort there. Zach, onto the back line, and it's a pretty familiar team, albeit the new 15 that Earl mentioned. Just run through a few of the backs for us.
Yeah, so look, cohesion plays a big part in this. You know, two of the most consistent game managers in the comp in Nick Duffy and Angus Sinclair at 9 and 10. They both stood up, and you can see straight away when Gus came back from Japan, they just clicked. Like he'd never left. In terms of the midfield, Harry Bury and Nathan Russell, who were probably our two strongest players on the weekend in the trial. Both of them scored some great tries off the back of some good team play. And then on the wings, we bring a bit of spark with Reece Ma'u on the left wing and Kepu Lokatui, who's come back. So some of our members and supporters would remember Kepu back a couple of years ago, played some NRC. He's looking in great nick, and he's got some laser focus in terms of what he wants to achieve this year. So I'm excited to see him come out. And then Max Bury at 15. I think Earl sums it up and really well. And just to add a bit on that, I mean Max brings something different to our defence and attack. Having been in a rugby league setup physically, he's with the West Tigers, he's obviously physically powerful and strong, having been in that sort of semi-pro setup for a couple of years. But it's in terms of his football nous that we spotted, his ability to identify space and communicate with our team in attack and defence is really on show. So he's someone who I encourage, for the fans who are coming out on the weekend to keep a close eye on. But yeah, cohesion and experience really with most of the back line. Yeah,
nice. I'm sure there'll be two very, very happy and vocal fans that are making the trip up to watch him play alongside his brother, which will be obviously great for the family. That's our first grade team. We've got a few on the bench, but just a quick note on second grade. How important, and either of you can answer this one, how important is it to have a strong second grade to therefore have a strong first grade in this competition?
I'll go first. I think in terms of first grade and second grade, that's just a name for us. We're top squad, and the guys that are putting the jersey on in the lower grade are just guys that are waiting for their opportunity to play in first grade. So we all train together. Matty Gordon and Michael Smith, who are the coaches in second grade, they're on all of our calls and all our decision making around training and selections and everything that we're doing, that we're trying to drive here at the club. In terms of how they organise their team during the week, it's probably better coming from Zach as he's coached in that grade for a number of years.
Yeah, mate, you're spot on, Earl. And if you look through all the premiership winning Shute Shield teams over the last few years, like they've all had strong depth in second grade, and their second grade usually on grand final day are there or thereabouts as well. We want to be 3 deep in positions, and those players have got to be ready to step up when that opportunity comes on. And it comes down to, like, if there's an injury in first grade and there's a second grader who comes on off the bench and that incumbent's out for a couple of weeks, we need to know that second grade player is going to be ready. And as Earl said, it's just a name for us. I mean, right through lockdown, we had these Zoom calls every week, with analysis of games of last year, looking at teams, around the globe on some pitches on how we want to play. And mate, we have 40 odd players on every call. And it wasn't compulsory, but the boys set as I said, player led. They set the theme that it's going to be compulsory, and our second grade guys have been working just as hard as first grade. So incredibly important. Smithy and Maddie Gordon have done a great job as well. Yeah,
no, well said. And there's certainly some pretty solid first grade names in that second grade team, like Gary Bortz. I think Hamish Sinclair's injured, but he's there or thereabouts. Charlie Jevons Fellows, George Murran, who'll probably play off the bench. So it's certainly a strong team on paper, and hopefully that'll continue on the field. So, boys, thanks very much. First one. Hopefully the viewership will be great, and it'll continue throughout the season. But it's great that you can make the time to join me this morning. Earl, we hope that you get back on the plane and get back soon. I'm sure it'll be a nervous Saturday from over in Wellington, and for Zach in the coaching box. Good luck this weekend, mate. Any final words for the members and supporters out there that you can give us ahead of the weekend?
Just like we've said all along, we appreciate your support. Get down if you're allowed to come and watch, but make sure that you follow all the protocols. Because this COVID-19 is pretty serious right around the world. So make sure you take care of yourself and do what's right for the country.
Yeah, well said. Zacko?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Thanks for the supporters who came out at TG Milner. The boys said they could hear your noise far and over the Colts noise, who were pretty vocal there in the corner. But also big thanks to our sponsors. I know a lot of sponsors have stuck by us. From the feedback from the board and Jack is a lot of our sponsors who've stuck by us. We need you, and that's how the club continues to run. So thanks for that. And we look forward to it's a new decade, new chapter for the club, and we want to make it an exciting one, enjoyable one for everyone to come and watch and support your team.
Fantastic, guys. That's all on the field. Off the field, we've got a brand new website that's gone live. Jump on, have a look. All your information's there. Memberships via our shop still available. Plenty of merchandise. Round 2 will be at home at Bon Andrews. We can't wait to see you then. Thanks, guys. Good luck on the weekend.
Cheers,
thanks,
JB.
everyone. Cheers, JB.
Hey, that was good, eh?
Thanks.
That flowed all right?
Yeah, mate.
Well done. Really well.
Happy with that. Well,
now use your production skills and make us look friggin' good.
yeah. No, it'll be good.